This is your announcer, Shannon Saint Mainframe, welcoming you to our IPA Livecast. Someone was caught filming a gay porn in the Senate hearing room this week. Rob, your Grindr hookups are getting out of control. We need to find a way to get Mitch McConnell to slip on your cum puddle. Our IPA Livecast starts now.
Wow, Shannon's a real rabble-rouser here. She's a troublemaker. Welcome to our IPA Live.
Typical lib.
That's Vince McConnell to slip on some jism.
You know, if
Starting
that happened, there'd be an instantly a worse person than Mitch McConnell to replace him.
A younger
I don't know,
person who actually can walk around and do evil things.
Yeah, I guess at
instead
this
of
point.
doing- Yeah.
He's glitching out. Let him hold
Yeah.
his seat.
I do agree with that.
Do
It's
you
crazy
remember?
how in 2 years ago he was like a powerhouse pushing through all this evil stuff, and now he can barely stand. He could barely finish a sentence even.
Right. Yeah. Did you see when he just completely glitched out and stared into the camera?
Which time? It's happened more than once by now.
That's fantastic.
Well,
Couldn't happen to a
Welcome.
nicer guy.
yeah.
Yes, Mitch McConnell, if you're listening and watching, welcome to RIPL Livecast. It's Rob here with Sid and 3D.
Hey.
We're live every Saturday morning, a little bit after 11 a.m., and
Yeah.
it's sunny today. And welcome to the show. We're hanging out.
I never would have believed you, Rob, if you told me 30 years ago that the character of Dana Carvey in The Master of Disguise would be a senator. And when he was the turtle.
And the most powerful Republican senator there is, I would say, right? He's the majority leader still,
Mm,
or is he? Yeah, it's the
Minority.
majority, right?
no,
He's
he's
the
in the Senate.
Yeah.
Who's
Currently,
the-
he's the minority leader,
Mm,
but he
mm.
has been the majority leader.
But he's white.
Yes.
He's not a minority.
Yeah.
is he?
Well, if you listen to some people, that is the minority now, Darren.
Oh, right. I forgot.
Well, the big hot scandal of the morning and last night.
You're a jazz
Shannon
puddle.
Yeah.
Shannon alluded to it. She said "cum puddle," Darren. By the way, she
I know
mentioned
her
cum puddle.
first take in the recording of that was a jizz puddle, but she said jazz puddle, and I'm just thinking of Scooby Doo bop bop bop
Yeah.
coming on the floor. You know, like it
That's
just
Noah's
sit there.
favorite band.
Mm-hmm.
Go see the Jazz Puddle.
Yeah,
I've seen them perform. I actually got tickets to this jazz event at the Blue Note. I'm going to have a dinner and a jazz show coming up in the
What?
spring. I'm very
Who
excited.
are you?
Who are you trying to impress from?
Yeah.
Grindr?
Who are you taking
Nobody
to
from.
this?
I'm going with Anthony. It's this musician Nate Smith. He's a drummer. I think I've mentioned him on the show before. He's really, really good. He can get pretty heavy, but it's jazz. But it's really good. I enjoy jazz.
Yeah,
I don't get the hate.
I just don't. My hate for jazz is totally genuine. Like some things I play up on the show, like different stuff that we joke about. I genuinely cannot stand jazz music.
What's worse, Darren? And I want this to
Well-
be a completely honest answer. What's worse, jazz or the Cock Destroyers?
I'd listen to 100 hours of jazz in a row without sleeping before listening to 5 minutes of it. You're giving me a choice of two horrible things.
Yeah,
So
that's
this
what
is
I wanted.
I was actually pondering this, because there is the cliche like, oh, jazz is unlistenable, blah, blah, blah. And anytime I see one of these videos, I'm listening to the jazz that's in the background, and I'm like, this sounds pretty good. So
I'm not knocking you for your taste or anything.
I don't think the point I'm getting to is, what don't you like about it? Like, what am I hearing that you guys aren't hearing?
Well, that's for you to answer. I think it sounds like just aphonic like noise, and they're just making it up as they go along. I don't think there's any punch to it. Usually, it's just like
Yeah, it's just masturbatory noodling.
right. It sounds like
I
tuning
see.
up to play a song, but that's the song.
Yeah.
Well, what do you like about it? That's so. I'm not. This is a genuine question. I'm not like putting you down for your taste or anything.
Well, for me, what I like about it is they take the song, the conventional song structure, and you as the listener, I have this expectation of where the song is about to go based on traditional song structures, and then they mess with it, and they
They make it way worse.
Well,
that's that's what separates a good jazz artist from a bad one. I agree. There's bad jazz out there, but like for this artist Nate Smith, it's like listening to Meshuggah, but with acoustic guitars, kind of, But sometimes some of his stuff is more hip hop and R&B. Some of his stuff just sounds like it would be the beats of a really good rap song, like
But
the musical under like the bed of the rap song.
Well, Sid was joking. Oh, I'm sorry, Sid.
No, go ahead, Darren.
Well, I was going to say Sid was joking around that they take the song structure and make it way worse. But I mean, I feel like that just sums up what I don't like about it, because like there's a reason that these songs all follow, and every kind of song that there is, and like the mainstream type of music follows this type of structure. It works. Like there's and they vary from it, but there's also always a core of something that makes something a
sure,
song.
but you could say that about any form of art. Like there's a reason certain structures work for TV shows, but then a TV show comes along that flips the structure, and you're like, wow, this is so unique and a different way to do this, and I appreciate it.
I would argue that a TV show doing what jazz music does would make it completely unwatchable. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like I feel like
Twin Peaks for me would be the jazz of TV, and I fucking hate that show. The reboot and the original.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what they said about that. It
um,
takes these traditional structures and it flips them on its ear, and it's like, yeah.
Well, I look at 30 Rock as a show like that, because it would be, there would be a lot of interludes and structure changes.
I think 30 Rock has what's great about 30 Rock is that I feel like it's a very traditionally structured sitcom, and then they throw you curveballs in the middle of it.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying.
I'm
like
saying
jazz is like throwing in a curveball on a traditional song structure.
I just think it's not structured at all.
Yeah.
It'd be like if
well,
Alex
I think you're being it's not all jazz. Like the jazz that you've heard that you don't like, you're saying is.
Well, I'm pretty old, Rob, and I've listened to a lot of music, and never heard.
So you don't like Miles Davis? You've heard Miles Davis?
I don't care for Miles Davis. I'm sorry. Like I can hear that he's a talented musician. Just like I know Alex Skolnick is a talented musician, but when he starts playing jazz, I kind of tune out. Although when he did when he did the Alex Skolnick trio, like they played War Pigs, I'm like, all right, it's kind of, you're putting a spin on this song, and it's like, it's got a structure. It's not like, it's just, you're playing it in a sort of a jazzy style like that. I can kind of stomach,
And also like, there's a difference, like you say, Miles Davis, there's a difference between a jazz album or a jazz song that is released and that is like a famous song, as opposed to seeing it live. Like a Miles Davis song that people would know is like probably a few minutes long, and it just gets to the point. You going to see jazz live is just going to be like 2 hours of noodling. It's not going to.
Oh
be
no,
like,
it's not. He has songs. It's exactly the same. He has albums, and he plays songs from his albums.
And it's exactly as it is on the album.
There might be a little bit of noodling, but I appreciate it. It's fun. It's a jam break.
I want to go on record and say I'm not shitting on Nate Smith. It could be very entertaining, and I hope you have a good time.
I think you.
I will. You know what, Rob?
I will send a particular track. Maybe I should make that my. I think I might have to change my Spotify pick. Late minute now.
No, I forbid
a second one.
I forbid it.
I will listen. Rob, you have impeccable taste in all forms of media, and I trust you implicitly. I just disagree with you sometimes, but I would listen to it solely on your recommendation.
I want to read some comments from Dusty Rhodes Muffler. He says, I listen to jazz, and even I hate it.
You have to kind of hate yourself a little.
I don't get Twin Peaks. I end up more confused after watching it.
I like Twin Peaks, but when it does get overbearing at times.
I didn't get it. I couldn't get into it. I watched like one. I tried twice, and I was just like, I'm just not gonna bother. And Dusty Rhodes asked if I like Kenny G. I cannot say I gave Kenny G any sort of serious listen, but I don't like that necessarily, like that kind of like adult contemporary, like, just elevator music. Like that doesn't intrigue me. I like the metal equivalent, or something with groove.
I mean, I put Kenny G into a completely different. I mean, I feel even calling that jazz is odd. Like it's like it's more like just. It's just elevator music, and I don't like it for different reasons. Did I ever tell you about this guy who gave me a ride home from work once? Who I worked with?
No!
and he only the whole
What kind of ride, baby?
the only thing he played in the car straight through was like smooth jazz. And he said he was a jazz musician, and he's like, "You mind if I put some jazz on?" I was like,
How long is this ride?
It turned out to be like Kenny G and like, you know, like I think Sade was in there. It was like very palatable.
At least there's vocals.
But the whole time he was talking about how he goes down to he's all these different vacations. Like he's a retiree. Very cool. Like, you know, he's like a 55 to 60-year-old black guy, and he's retired. He had a pension. He's like, I go to all these different countries. I went to Thailand last week.
No.
Massages were great.
Oh no.
And then he goes, the way this topic moved on, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, oh, and I went to the Dominican. Tells me all about the hotel he stayed in. Oh my God, you wouldn't believe the massages down there. And every single thing ended with the massages. Everything was like, I did this, I did that. Here's the house I stayed in, Airbnb. Isn't that beautiful?
He supports the local businesses.
Incredible. Yeah. Very funny.
With a little massage every once in a while.
I didn't know what to say. I had to be like, oh, okay.
Sharing a ride with an international sex criminal.
You should have asked him, what are the massages like here in town? Like, where do you get your massages here?
I didn't need to ask. He launched into that eventually, too. He was talking. He couldn't stop talking about massages, this guy. He's a misogynist.
Rob, could you read Dusty Rhodes' latest comment? Because he makes a joke and then immediately explains it.
Oh, cool. That's always fun.
It feels like a little blue, this joke. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable reading it. I don't feel comfortable reading it.
I want to read this.
Well, Darren, you could read it.
You want me to read it? Rob's favorite jazz musician is Herbie Hancock because he likes the cock.
Oh,
is he saying because? Is he saying because Herbie Hancock likes to cock and you feel solidarity? Or is he saying you just like the fact that cock is in his name?
Well, all instances are. I do like Herbie Hancock. I think he's a very talented musician.
I feel this joke needs more explaining, quite frankly. Rob loves cock so much that anything with the word cock in it, even fully unrelated to penis, he'll be a fan of it. Is that
exactly.
What you're saying, Dusty?
He's such a mark.
Oh,
such a cockmark.
Don't say that to Rob. He's such a wrestling fan. He will take that to heart. You're a Cocksmark, Rob.
It's true. It's true.
That should be your new podcast.
Can we make that the show title, Cocksmark?
I don't think that
might be the most inside joke that we ever put.
Well, speaking of inside the Capitol building, there was
cock.
There was definitely a ton of cock inside that building. But
sausage party.
Yesterday, a story surfaced on, I'm sad to say, the Daily Caller, which is, of course, Ben Shapiro's website. It is a some would call it a conservative outlet. Some would call it a fair outlet. Some would say it's a far right outlet. I call it a piece of shit. Anyway, they got their grubby little hands. I guess I should be careful with that term based on who owns it. But they got their hands on.
We're allowed to say that.
Yeah, we're allowed.
We're all
okay.
Jews.
They got their hands on a video of a Senate staffer filming a gay sex tape in the Senate hearing room. I wonder if it was a straight sex tape, if it would be acceptable. But
I mean, Lauren Boebert basically did that, and they're okay with her. So, probably
is Ben Shapiro in the camp of Boebert? I feel like there's a schism between Republicans. I feel like he's more of the traditional Republicans versus the Boeberts of the world.
I'm sure he'd still pick her over a Democrat.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably, but I mean, I feel like they don't like each other.
He's just intimidated by her pulsating sexuality.
Yeah, she's not attractive.
That's a good point. You know, like what Boebert did, I would say, is probably a little more explicit than this. But I want to read. How the Advocate covered this story, because it is kind of funny to me how they decided to. Because, you know, the Advocate is a gay publication. I think it might even be the longest running gay public, even though now it's like it's been sold, it's been like hot potato to so many media companies that it's a shell of its former self. Obviously,
60 minutes of homosexuality.
60
and they try, obviously for a upscale gay publication, this is an embarrassing story. So they try to put, like a professional spin on it. But what I love is that as they put this professional spin on it, and I'll read the copy in a second. They get caught up in the webification, the internetification. So like in the middle of the stories is a trending stories, and there's just like buff shirtless men, 25 steamy pics of this Bravo in the middle of this like important story about.
Gotta know your audience.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, hey. U.S. Capitol Police are investigating reports of two men having sex in public on Capitol grounds. The Advocate confirmed late Friday.
Wow.
An explicit video shot in the Hart Senate office building on Capitol Hill has
Hart
ignited Hart H-A-R-T has ignited widespread controversy and attention online.
Widespread, wasn't that what the dude was doing?
That's what the
We're never getting through this article. I'm just going to tell you now.
The Daily Caller, a far-right outlet, first reported on the existence of the video on Friday. The clip depicts two men engaged in a sexual act in what the publication claims is room Hart 216. The footage, which the Advocate has not authenticated, seems to be shot in a Senate hearing room. And so I've seen the footage. Obviously, it's a little too explicit to play on YouTube, but it's blurred out. I will say it's blurred out, but it is a first-person video of the top. And the bottom is bent over a table. It's a doggy style position, and it's just like a point of view of like, and you see it's very clearly in a hearing room. You see.
Rob, can we get you like when they do those these election results shows on CNN, like with the guy fucking around with the electronic board? Can you describe the bent over position and tell us the history of doggy style and all that stuff?
What stage it's most popular in?
Well, we'll get to that in a minute, actually. But in the video, two identified men engage in a sexual act inside what appears to be the room known for hosting hearings by the Senate Judiciary Committee. One of the men is nude and hunched. Oh, they also describe it. Here we go. One of the men is nude and hunched over the dais behind which senators would typically sit when conducting official business and questioning witnesses. The clip, recorded from the perspective of the other participant, includes a brief pan of the Senate seal on the wall.
Guys, taking dick in the exact place where Dodd-Frank was drafted. This is amazing. This is historical.
It's kind of hot. A spokesperson for the Capitol Police told the Advocate Friday, "We are aware and looking into this." In response to a request for comment, the Advocate contacted the office of Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, the New York Democrat, but did not immediately hear back. Widely circulated and unconfirmed reports online identify the staffer as Maryland Democrat Senators Ben Cardin. Oh, he's a staffer for Maryland Democratic Senator Ben Cardin. And he has been identified because this kid posted a photo on Instagram. And again, I'm not going to show this photo. I guess I can show this photo because he's bent over. He's bent over with his ass, in a jockstrap, but his ass, like the ass cheek, is censored out. Is that okay to show? What do you guys think?
Only one way to find out, Rob.
All right. I guess I'll do it. But here's what he posted on his Instagram page.
Now, this is this is the staffer or someone else?
This is the staffer, yes. This very room, Sonia Sotomayor had her confirmation hearing.
Maybe that's not safe for work, maybe.
James Comey testified on Russian interference in the 2016 election. Aiden got some thick German sausage and a Jaeger sauce finish. Aiden fucking rules. Wow. So I want to read this gay porn blog that I enjoy.
We're doing a show. Do you have to read that right now?
You mean read it on the air? Okay. It is not safe for work, but they obviously got the inside scoop on who this Aiden is.
Scooped out his inside.
And I want to mention that the Daily Caller shared a photo here, And this really is not safe for work, but like the way they censored Aiden is over his buttocks, what they put is the Capitol building. So it almost looks like the Capitol building is penetrating Aiden.
So you're offended not because of the photo, but the fact implying that a top is a bottom.
No, Aiden is the bottom. What do you mean?
I lost track of the thread there. Sorry.
Aiden is the guy bent over.
Oh, I got you. So he's getting double penetrated.
Well, what I want to know is who is a closet homosexual at the Daily Caller who very clearly is putting in this clue. And so, so I read a little more into it, and the way that this leaked is that this video was not published online yet on an OnlyFans, but this staffer does maintain an OnlyFans. So the outlet that is reporting on this is called Straight Up Gay Porn. But again, I do not recommend visiting because it is not safe for work. Hey, actually, if that seems like something you want to, there's dicks aplenty all over. It's not a traditional blog. It is a porn blog, but they sometimes stumble into actual like real news related to porn. So,
use promo code anal.
But anyway,
we're not promoting it.
Straight Up Gay Porn can now confirm that the staffer being fucked bareback on camera. Oh, and the other thing is that it's a bareback sex act.
And this is still
That's when my cat shows up. She hears bareback.
She's like, "Oh, condomless sex? Let's go."
This is still the Advocate article.
No, now now I moved on to the far raunchier Straight Up Gay Porn, which doesn't hide there.
I didn't
much
know if
like
you
the
went back
Advocate.
to
Much like the Advocate, this article has inserts of guys in shirtless guys, but in a different context. I do want to mention, by the way, in that Advocate article, you know how sometimes when you're reading an article, they'll try to dump a few links within the article to get you to click on another one. So the related, very, very trollish of the Advocate is related. Lauren Boebert caught fondling dates genitals during family-friendly musical. I like that because they're like, hey, before you get so offended about this, just remember, everyone's a perv.
Yeah,
sure.
So, Straight Up Gay Porn can now confirm that the staffer being fucked bareback on camera in the Senate hearing room is named Aiden. I'm not going to say his last name. And he's a staffer for Senate. Well, it's also hard to pronounce. It's like a Polish name.
Polish sausage.
A source tells Straight Up that Aiden shared the sex tape of himself in a group message to several of his friends on an Instagram account he operated under the name Aiden Santo. The account has now been pulled down. After sending the video, Aiden posted the below image to his Instagram stories, boasting about how he was fucked by a hung German man in the same room where the Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor confirmation hearing was held.
She would approve of that, I think.
That is the Instagram post that I shared with you earlier.
She's very
I think she'd be cool with it. She'd be happy that somebody's ass cheeks got clapped in that room.
Mira, long as I'm not sleeping on the juice bottle, I'm okay.
That's not what she sounds like.
I don't know. I never heard her speak. So.
Justice David Ortiz.
As news began to spread today about the fuckfest on Capitol Hill, Aiden took to LinkedIn and posted the below message to deny being in the video, writing, should I read his whole message? Aiden's whole, and it's so funny because,
whole message.
I'm a Mary in Maryland.
It sounds like he's a video.
This has been a difficult time for me as I've been attacked for who I love to pursue a political agenda. I don't think that's quite it. While some of my actions in the past have shown poor judgment, I love my job and would never disrespect my workplace. Any attempts to categorize my actions otherwise are fabricated, and I will be exploring what legal options are available to me in these matters. As far as the accusations regarding Congressman Max Miller, I have never seen the congressman and had no opportunity to cause to yell or confront him. So he's denying that it's even him in the video. I don't understand what the last part of the post is unrelated to a sex tape, but in reference to a separate accusation that Aiden recently approached Max Miller and shouted "Free Palestine" at him. And in addition to Instagram, Straight Up Gay Porn was able to find Aiden's alt-public Twitter account, which is now also offline, but several of his tweets and photos are cached. And they're just like, this is just, stuff that I wouldn't share on the show because it's just him being...
Him rimming?
Him being a Mary in Maryland.
I'm a Mary in Maryland.
You sound so different in that clip, Rob.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Really,
I'm a Mary in Maryland.
yeah, you're such a baritone now.
Oh, this is what another 5 to 8 years of smoking has done.
Maybe it's
5
just
to 8. That's from like 2009, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You probably just thought like you'd have plausible deniability if you changed your voice a little bit in the clip. You could later say that wasn't me saying that. It sounds nothing like me.
Let's see,
That's probably what it was.
This is the other ones from the same batch of. There we go.
I'm dead on the inside. I'm gonna kill Sid when he's not looking.
What else?
Over it.
Oh, there's that. oh, this is the other good one.
Oh, you Sid. Hope you die.
Yeah, those all sound like you. That one Mary in Maryland does not.
I'm a Mary in Maryland.
Interesting.
Listen.
That's like Rob.
I want to read, the writer of the story obviously tries to offer a little commentary on what's going on, and he tries to put things into context about how many like corrupt and evil things actually happened in that room. To like, is a little sex really the worst thing?
So this is like the gay porn version of when you would add a little blurb to a Vince Neil article when he
right. This is the metal injection of gay porn. I feel comfortable in saying that. In terms of the optics and why this sex tape would be such a parenthesis stain on America, if our government were actually decent and morally just, this is where the outrage comes from. I think people still want to believe America is good and worth defending. LOL. Look, it's human nature to want to suck cock and get fucked in places where it's not allowed. But even America's sluttiest cum-dumb twinks have to rein it in so we can maintain some semblance of a civil society. And yet, at the same time, isn't Aiden just giving this country exactly the kind of respect it deserves?
Thank you. I feel like George Patton could have delivered that speech.
When is Aiden calling into the show, Rob?
We have Aiden booked for the 12 o'clock hour.
Nice.
Some comments from Straight Up Gay Porn.
Oh, boy.
In the Judiciary Building, Jim Jordan is salivating. Which, by the way, did we talk about the details of that? I think we did, about how Jim Jordan knew about that coach that was molesting the boys, and like we read some of the stories about how obvious it was. Right? We talked about that.
I think so.
Yeah.
Vaguely familiar. Jim Jordan's a funny guy. Like, I don't really care for his politics, but he's very like witty. I feel like he's like dunks on people. He's good at dunking on people. But obviously repulsive person. He's like a break from the like Mitch McConnell's of the world. I feel like he has personality in his.
He's like what, 60 years younger than Mitch, seemingly.
Yes. There's a lot of times he says something like, "All right, I got to give it to you. I don't like you."
Yeah. So I don't know. I like, on the one hand, I think it's hot. I guess the thing about it that I think is stupid was filming it and bragging about it. Yeah. Like, if you're going to do it, just keep it up. I'm sure that's not the first time someone's been fucked in that room. I'm 100% certain.
John F. Kennedy fucked multiple women in that room. Or any other room, any other government.
Or any other, exactly. Every room Clinton, in the Senate, in the White House has been used for fucking.
Any room he just happened to be in, he would use it for fucking. He probably went to a Horn and Hardart and fucked the girl in the kitchen or something. Yeah. Sorry. Good.
Nancy Reagan blew the entire National Security Council in one of those rooms.
Sure, I can see it. I think, but what if the kink though is like you kind of want people to know that the person seemed very eager to like tell people. So I feel like the natural extension of that is to film it and show.
Yeah, I guess in a way he was trying to get.
Not get caught.
I don't think it's
but
that.
like,
You know what? I don't think it's get caught. I think he just thought these are two separate identities that I have. You know, and no one is gonna publicly out. Like who the hell leaked this in the Daily Caller? You know,
right. Someone
a hater.
Right.
A hater, an ex-boyfriend, perhaps.
Yeah.
Well, I think
someone's who's come Aiden would not dump.
Right. Well, hate fuck. Well,
Yeah,
what
he
about
dumped their cum? That's the problem.
I feel like the goal, if I can read the person's mind, I may be completely off, but it seems like the goal was to tell people about this, but you just got to be selective about who you tell and brag to the right people so that you don't get caught, so you can continue cum dumping in private places of prestige.
Or just
as long as you wipe down
out
after, that's fine. You know, like use a little alcohol, like a alcohol wipe. You know, one of those. It's
like
all
a
right.
Clorox wipe.
Yeah. Clean up after yourself. That's all I'm saying.
Well, he probably did.
Yeah, I would hope so. And plus, those rooms get cleaned meticulously. Anyway, our tax dollars are cleaning those rooms.
Sure.
They're not. You know, I mean, government doesn't work so great in other places. Maybe they're leaving jizz puddles.
Maybe
They
it
let
was a
Then why is
janitor
Mitch
that he was
McConnell
getting
still
topped
alive?
by. Yeah.
I mean, well, maybe he's living off the cum.
Oh my God.
They let guys with fucking Party City costumes in the front door. Where's the security money going to stop that? To take selfies and take a dump on.
That's what I was thinking. Like, is this more or less embarrassing than the actions on January 6th? I would say less.
Less embarrassing, less funny.
Just one guy.
Less funny for sure.
Yeah.
About equal levels of dangerous.
Yeah.
I.e., not at all.
Like he had permission to be in the building.
Right.
Yeah. He had
He
clear.
just didn't have permission to have a guy in him.
Devil's
in the
advocate. Seemed like those guys had permission to be in the building too.
Yeah,
They
it
just
seems
walked,
like
walked right
they
in
were
the
being
front
let in
door.
by some people. Yeah.
Yeah. Touche.
But they didn't work there. We could say that we know of.
Yeah.
Iced Earth guy definitely didn't work there.
Have there been any updates with John Schaefer?
Yeah, how's he doing?
No, the last thing that we read is that he
Died in prison. No? Oh, sorry.
he did not die in prison. He's a free man right now, I believe. Or yeah, I think he's out. But he just plea bargained. He signed something like they were trying to go after the leaders of the Oath Keepers, who they have locked away for a long amount of time. So his testimony, his ratting out.
Oh, I think I remember that.
So is he in witness protection? I forget. Maybe
something like that.
Do you really need protection from like those guys? They could barely organize like a group outing to a Congress building. I mean, what are they gonna do? They didn't bring guns or anything.
Did they? I don't know. I guess
no, they didn't. There was like no.
They left him back in the truck.
All right. The only firearms involved was the cops that shot one of the weirdos. That's the only person that like officially died as a result of that event.
Didn't one of the cops die or something from
one of the cops died? They found out later. It got sensationalized as a story, like the mob killed him and all that. And it turned out he had like a heart condition that he was struggling with, and he had a bunch of like prior heart incidents and stuff. And then someone else, one of these weirdos that showed up there, died of a overdose like 3 days later. And the only one who died as a result of the actual riot,
that lady,
the lady that like kind of did suicide by cop. Like she just got in a cop's face and wouldn't stop, and he just popped her.
Once you pop, you can't stop. R.I.P. that lady.
Yes,
I guess.
Well, one car length up in traffic.
I like that.
Somewhere.
Very good.
I feel like that's in my head from a comic, and I want to give credit, but I don't. It just popped in there, and I don't know who it is. So someone may have said that, but I enjoy that imagery.
I like that. What were you saying, Robert?
So I was going to say some good news for folks. Don't worry. It is okay to drink Bud Light again because Kid Rock has announced he's no longer boycotting Bud Light. He says they've made a mistake, and I think they got the message. You may recall a few months ago, Kid Rock bought a bunch of fucking 24 packs of Bud Light, set them up, and then very poorly shot at them.
Yeah.
At close range.
What a waste of your time! Like what? Just what are you doing? Like what privilege that is that you that you can be that outraged about a beer marketing campaign, but then to be able to buy it, set it up, shoot at it, record a video. Like people are living under bridges. Like aren't there more? Even if you really think it's the worst thing in the world, like don't you have other shit to do? Like just. I don't know. That just when I see shit like that, it's just the.
But also, that was in April. Like it hasn't even been a year. Like it's been
feels
6
like
months. It's been 6 months, and he's like at the end of this is the quote. I guess he was on Tucker Carlson. Ugh.
Oh,
at the end of the day, when you step back and look at it, yeah, they deserved a black eye, and they got one. They made
black
a mistake.
guy. They deserved a black.
So do I want to hold their head under the water and drown them because they made a mistake? No, I think they got the message. I think they're like, it's so funny. He's treating Bud Light like they're a small business, like someone was actually affected by this. This is a fucking mega conglomerate corporation.
Well, didn't they lose a lot of sales?
Yeah. The only person affected by this is Dylan Mulvaney, who, had to deal with unnecessary fucking hatred.
Well, I read that Bud Light was number 1 in beer sales, and they went down to number 5 after this happened. And that Modelo is actually the number 1 beer in the U.S. now.
Yeah, there was definitely a financial impact for them.
But who cares? Like what does that mean? But
Bud Light cares.
Like nobody got fired over it. Is what I'm saying.
I don't know.
It's fine. I think it's fine. Kid Rock added, hopefully other companies get it too. That's right. But at the end of the day, I don't think the punishment that they've been getting at this point fits the crime. What? I would like to see us back on board and become bigger because that's the America I want to live in.
He wants them to go back to like Clydesdale commercials and then endorse Bud Light. That's what he wants.
Yeah,
he's angling for like a big
100%. That's what.
I think part of the reason for this is because outlets have continually reported that even though he protested this, like his bars never stopped selling Bud Light.
Oh, I see.
Rock concluded there's nothing wrong with giving a spanking. You don't spank them for the rest of their lives. What did they do that was wrong? Like he's talking about America and being like,
they're supporting the transgender agenda, Rob. They're recruiting our children.
JCS writes, Bud Light is trash beer. Anyways, nobody should be drinking it, period. You're not going to get any disagreement from me.
Yeah.
So
it's JSC, but he might
what
be very partial
to JCS.
Yeah, he's partial to his initials, possibly.
Let's just call him JCVD.
I like it. Wait, no, I do not. That is my name.
Roundhouse kick that Bud Light can out of Kid Rock's hand.
Come here, you're promoting the trans agenda. Drink a real beer like Modelo.
How would JCVD feel about having to kickbox against a transgender man? Does he think that's fair or unfair?
How cute is he? It's like that Andrew Tate bit, remember? Do you want to fuck Hulk Hogan with a vagina?
Oh, God,
Megan Fox with a penis. I will take Megan. The interesting question. I will take Megan Fox with a vagina. JCVD does not play by your rules.
Do you guys remember Twitter? Do you guys remember that service, Twitter?
You mean X?
Yeah.
Right. It's now known as X. And as you know, they're struggling with ads. A lot of companies pulling their ads away after Elon Musk told them to go fuck themselves. And it's creating this wonderful world where I've been seeing some of the most insane ads. It's either been like Bill O'Reilly being like, watch my show on Newsmax, which I constantly am like, I'm not interested in this ad. Or the equivalent of like a 4 a.m. infomercial type product.
Oh, I get those a lot.
Yeah. And then every once in a while, something weird pops up. And this one popped up, not for me, but it has gone viral since. It's from the account Bait World, like not fishing bait, master bait. Masturbate.
That's a shame. I thought it was going to be a nice, good lure I could use.
I mean, it might be.
Tired of cutting holes in your pants? These jackin' joggers have a zipper specifically built for jackin'.
Now, Rob, can I get your opinion?
Hold on. Sorry. Comfortable, convenient, covert jack-off pants.
Thank you.
And you can get those at jopants.com. Now, go ahead, Darren.
Well, I wanted your expert opinion. Is that a bulge that I see there? Is that just like a fold in the underwear?
I think that's a fold.
Yeah. Almost phallic, though, a little bit.
This is a very interesting concept. Well, I don't know if I'd say interesting. Let me keep reading this copy here. At first glance, J.O. pants seem like normal, unassuming pants a regular Joe would wear. However, these are not ordinary pants. These are jack-off pants. An extra long invisible zipper opens up in the crotch area for easy access to your genitals. Jack and joggers are cozy, comfortable joggers with a simple, timeless design made with masturbation in mind. Stay covered and warm while pleasuring yourself. Made in the USA. Oh, wait, where's the about? Or FAQ. If you have purchased any US size sweatpants before, our pants are roughly in the same range. Oh, wait, no. Where's the story? The story.
Well, look where they ship from. That'll tell you a lot.
Las Vegas, Nevada.
It sounds about right.
Here we go. Jack-off pants might seem like a peculiar product, but as someone who faps a lot, I can attest they are essentially my masturbatory practice. I remember how the idea came to me. I was in a new home that got exceptionally cold. The central heating took forever to work, and it seemed wasteful to heat the whole place just so I could go pantless. Space heaters never seemed to evenly hit my naked legs spread open while I jerked it at the computer.
Oh my God, come on.
Being a homebody, my pants of choice were always sweatpants.
Chronic masturbator is a homebody? Who would have guessed?
I had a pair that I cut a hole in the crotch area so I had an unobstructed access to my dick.
Christ.
They worked like a charm and became my first jack-off pants.
Is this not the Untuckit guy? Is this like his side hustle?
This is the origin story here. Not only did they keep my legs warm, they also made it easy to hide my boner if somebody walked in unexpectedly. People don't just assume you're masturbating if you have pants on. Well, he probably has roommates or a spouse.
Now, don't you also need jack-off underwear, like to get through the pants?
Well, maybe he's not wearing underwear.
Well, in the picture of the pants, the person is wearing underwear.
Yeah. Well, that's because they don't want to show dick.
I guess. Well, so wait, there's a zipper?
Yes.
So it's pants.
It's just
I guess it's just
pants that open wider.
Yeah.
Then
seems like a very minimal readjustment to the traditional pants. It's not. We're not going jazz here. We're not going Alex Skolnick trio on pants.
I assume that they still have an elastic waist, though. That's what makes them the sweatpants.
Yeah.
I've had sweatpants with a dick hole, though.
That's a drop.
Well, I want to read this next. Yeah. There was a problem with my first pants. Whenever I got up and walked around, my junk would be fully exposed for the world to see. It needed a zipper, a big one. I looked on the internet to see if anything existed that was similar to the special jack-off pants that I envisioned, but to my surprise, I couldn't find anything. That's when I realized I had to make this product, not only for myself, but for the masturbators of the world. He said he eventually found a manufacturer, and the rest is history.
So the intention here is for home masturbation. This isn't so
Yes.
you could masturbate in public easier.
Well, Sid,
Right,
this is
for,
what they're
for
allowed
cold
to say
weather
on a website.
masturbation.
This is what they're allowed to say on a website. You can
Yeah.
use it any way you personally choose.
But I'm just trying to figure out what like his real intention is with these.
Look at this wonderful infographic here.
Oh.
Also, I love the logo. The J and the O intersect, and it looks like a Chanel logo.
Yeah,
But it's for
It looks like the
jerking
J is
off.
fucking the O.
yeah,
Breaking
they know
right
what they're
through it.
doing. Or the J is a penis coming through the sweatpants hole.
Do you think this guy gets turned on by his own logo and has to stop doing like the print materials to masturbate more?
I think this guy stops doing a lot of things to masturbate. He's got a lot of masturbation on his mind.
Do you think what really happened is that his partner caught him and he had to come up with this whole product to be like, no, I'm just testing this thing. I wasn't really jerking off. I've got this new product.
This is an
And he had to follow through on it, and it's all just to cover up that his partner caught him jerking off at the house.
It's an entire Larry David season.
Yes. Yeah. This is actually going to be the final season of Curb. This is like viral marketing for that.
Nice.
I would believe it.
Gonna sell this in the Spite store.
Rob, how many have you ordered so far?
No, I don't need these.
I mean, I think this is just.
Although I
they're
do
just
understand.
pants.
I guess I understand it. Sometimes in cold weather,
You
have
know
to
where
keep your
these, I
sweatpants
think,
around your knees.
it's not only masturbation. Like if you want to get blown at a movie theater, wouldn't these pants be a little bit more useful than regular pants for that also? There's
That's an excellent point.
There's other uses.
I mean, I think
or,
that's.
or if you're like on a Senate hearing floor and quickly want to
Well, we don't know. The
penetrate
German might
your
have
cum
been-
slut bottom.
Yeah.
I just think, Sid, you just touched on it. This is the real,
Did I?
This is the
Well,
real.
Sid, what are you touching?
The real purpose of these pants is to Pee Wee Herman the whole thing. Like go in a public place and it's
Yeah.
easy to jerk off, but they can't say that because it's a legal liability. So it's like,
guess-
in the
yeah, that's
comfort of
fair.
your own home. Wink, wink.
Dusty Rhodes Muffler says he's going to use these to shoplift, but I don't like. Won't the thing you're shoplifting just fall down your pants leg?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe Dusty will find a way.
Yeah.
Give us a report.
Yeah,
We don't
Dusty.
encourage shoplifting, but if you do it. Also, when this came up in the Discord, it was brought up that we know someone who is always talking about knockaround shorts, and this may be good for him.
This is like the evolution of knockaround shorts.
Yeah, knockaround pants. Knockaround Neanderthal man. Now we're progressing to Neanderthal from Java man. This is like the evolution.
It's the missing link of masturbatory garments.
And then there's Homo erectus, and then Homo sapiens.
And then Homo Senate floor.
Oh, how dare you!
That's where we're at now. That's the next level.
Yeah, and then we become Poochie, and we take off to the heavens.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, there's keeping with our sex theme. Sex theme.
Is that the segment bumper for this?
Yeah,
Okay, got
I
it.
think it works. Yeah, my sex team.
What?
I like it. That's catchy.
Why is it Ethel Merman singing this? I don't understand.
It's a Busby Berkeley production. The women swimming in a circle.
Like little sperms.
Yeah. They're coming through a big JO logo.
I do love how in December, all these websites, they do their year in reviews. Music sites do their favorite albums of the year. Some websites post stats. My favorite year of the year. Whoa,
Year of the
in
U.
review.
What was your favorite year of 2023, Rob?
My favorite year in review is from a little website known as Pornhub. They have released their 2023 year in review, and it's a fun little thing. The trends that it's their trends and their traffic reports, and I went through this whole thing.
I bet you did.
The show for research. Although I truthfully I don't really use Pornhub that often because I don't stream my porn. I torrent my porn.
You want the whole movie?
In high quality. No, I mean it's mostly scenes, but it's
really
or OnlyFans leaks. But
I
just like the quality of it.
I might have to give you some models to look up for me and download and share. I'll give you a list later. I'm like mostly kidding, probably, unless I get really bored. If my wife goes on a vacation without me, I might have to.
Understood. Well, I think the thing that was most fascinating to me is what would you say? I don't know if you guys looked at this link. Obviously, the U.S. is their highest getter of traffic. Could you proportionally? U.S. homes are more wired for internet than any other sites. But what would you say is number 2? What would you say is the number 2 website from which Pornhub gets the most visits?
Japan.
Sid?
Wait, the number 2 website?
Number 2.
The number 2 country. I'm sorry.
Oh,
what?
Canada.
Canada would be my guess because that's typically the default number 2, but it is in fact the Philippines.
Interesting.
Wow.
Lots of horny boys and girls in the field.
Japan was 6th. Germany would have been my next guess, and that was 6th.
So it's U.S., Philippines, France, Mexico, UK, Japan, Germany, Italy, Canada, and so on and so forth. Ukraine.
There's got to be some. There's got to be some meta issue with internet where Japan is so far down. I feel like they're the horniest country other than the U.S.
It could just be that there are so many other outlets for horny stuff that they don't need Pornhub in Japan.
But that's the thing. Japan has very restrictive pornography laws, I believe. Like when you watch porn that comes from Japan, they blur out the penises and all that.
That's right. I see. So they would be seeking out non-blurred out porn.
Yeah,
in fact, that's actually one of the top. That's the top search term in Japan. We'll get into that. We're going to dive deep into the analytics, folks. It's the Pornhub year in review.
I have a little anecdote about Japanese porn when we get there. But just remind
so here's the time spent per visit, and this is where Japan really shines, Darren. Philippines number 1 with 11 minutes 15 seconds. Japan number 2. Then Egypt, Netherlands, Germany. U.S. is all the way down here 9 minutes. U.S. folks, they're in and out really quick.
Bad showing. Well, we have short attention spans.
We just know what we're looking for.
And we know how to navigate the internet. But see, that 2-minute difference is just being clumsy internet users.
Right. It could be connections. Yeah. And they also have this difference in age. You can subtract about 1 minute and 10 seconds for an 18 to 24-year-old, basically, and add about 1 minute and 10 seconds for.
Oh, I thought difference by age meant like how much older you are than the person you're jerking off to.
No. Just the time spent per visit.
That would be a good stat. I'd like to see. All right,
so let's start at the very top here. We'll just keep scrolling through. The trends that define 2023, the golden age, mature cougar. These are the MILF and DILF. Muscle DILF grew 71%.
Now, time out. Don't scroll past that because I have a comment here. I'm mystified by that because I thought, and I don't consume porn nearly as much as I used to, but I thought the mature thing and the cougar thing peaked like 5 or 6 years ago. I wouldn't think that. I thought it was maybe on a downslope. Not that it's not there. Not that it's not
MILF
there.
MILF is the second most searched term worldwide.
It's weird when you look at porn that has. It's like always a 27-year-old woman that has a kid. It's never like it's very.
That's the thing. I think that's just MILF is just the default like hot mature woman, like mature.
A woman who doesn't.
If you want actual MILF, you have to search GILF probably.
Yeah, exactly. Like a woman that doesn't look like a teenager is what MILF means now. You know.
Yes.
So then supersize, the terms big, bigger, biggest, huge tits, huge cock, huge dildo. These are all drops coming in the future. These are all up. Even massive
Rob,
searches.
I'll
up
say it with you
91%.
for solidarity. Big, bigger, biggest, huge tits, huge cock, huge dildo.
All right, great, thank you. And then sex machines are trending, like the term android.
What?
Android
You're fucking
cosplay,
with a
Android
phone?
role play, sex
You're stuffing
robot.
an Android phone in your hole?
Well, I guess there's all these like all the information about these anamorphic robots or whatever. You know, these anthropomorphic, I should say, that like are very lifelike. So I'm assuming that search term is increased, especially
Rob,
with
if
the
you did have
Japanese
to
sex toys.
choose what kind of cell phone to watch a dude shove up his ass, would you have Apple brand loyalty or would you not care?
No, it's they're too wide. I'd want
Well,
something a little more
No, but
Slender-esque.
I feel
would
like
you do
he
like a
would,
razor?
he would shove an android up there because he wants to hate fuck them, and he hates androids.
Yeah. You're gonna... So he's going in after the Android already went in? He's just shoving it deeper?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
I by the way, Shannon, Pornhub page, get on this shit right now.
yeah.
Now go back to that graphic, please, because there's something that I'm intrigued by, which is NPC porn. I know clearly what an NPC is, but what is the porn slant on NPCs?
Let's see.
It's in 4. You passed it. Oh,
yeah,
is
yeah,
it?
yeah. This is describing the.
Oh, okay. But what is NPC porn? You're in a game and you're
it's NPC sex game. Maybe it's just people having sex in a video game context.
But what's NPC about it? Like like you're in Grand Theft Auto, you walk down the street and there's just a random person standing there, and you fuck them, and you reenact this.
Well, if they're a non-playable character, wouldn't they already be fucking without your interaction?
Well,
don't
you're
know.
stepping out of the game narrative to go on the side street and
Yeah,
fuck.
it doesn't explain.
Can you load up some NPC porn?
Oh,
and
no.
see if we can without
I
showing
cannot,
the...
but one of you guys can do it.
I don't want to ruin my
most searched
Pornhub
for
algorithm,
terms.
I'm sorry.
I don't look at porn that much. I'll do it.
So the most searched for term in 2023 is hentai, which
God. That is the dumbest form. I'm sorry if anyone likes hentai. I apologize. I like some dumb things too, so I'm not judging you. But I just watch it and it just feels like so ridiculous that you can't, like, I can't even get a real boner for it. You know what I mean?
I don't even watch it. But
I mean, I watched it because I worked in a store, a video store years ago that had was very well regarded and well known for its enormous porn available.
Well, perhaps there's been advances in the medium and it's much
That's
better now,
fair.
Darren. You should dip back into the hentai.
Anime still looks like it was made in 1992 to me.
That's
all
true.
of it. So I don't know, but maybe you're right.
Oh, there's our girl Angela White again.
Oh.
These are the most searched for porn stars.
1 billion
That was it.
views, 1.2 billion views. Holy fuck!
Who is Eva Elfie? Never heard of Eva
I don't
Elfie.
know. And that one looks like Ariana Grande.
Yeah, I haven't heard of a lot of these people. I'm slipping. Oh, there's my girl Lena Paul. That might be my top search. Rob, any of your
These are the
friends?
not on this list. Most viewed amateur models. Do you guys know Candy Love or Sweetie Fox or Porn Force?
No. Is Porn Force the name of a person or like a brand?
I'm not sure. Here's the most searched terms just in the U.S. Lesbian at number 1. MILF. Then hentai. Hentai still
very
popular.
high,
Yeah, still pretty popular. Latina, Ebony, Asian, Big Ass, BBC, Threesome, Cream Pie,
there's
Stepmom.
a little further down the list is Darren's ride home with the massage. Femboy, do you ever search for that, Rob?
No, I don't. But there are a few femboys I can get into. And that I have gotten into, let's be honest. Relative search terms. This is always fascinating to me. On which, relatively higher than in other states.
New York is
New York,
body swap? What?
I don't even know what that is.
Like Freaky Friday? I'm very confused.
Maryland is glory hole. Well, that of course. California, Asian stepmom.
Oh, New Mexico. They just want
Native
representation.
Oh,
For some reason that makes me sad. That it's just Native Americans in New Mexico searching for Native American. That seems like more of a statement about
any
society
standouts to you,
itself.
Darren? Here,
Was that mentioned?
What?
Nevada,
Illinois.
is Vegas.
What? That's also very confusing.
I'm sorry.
What-
While you were doing that, I was looking up the NPC porn. That's
And
I
what did
was
you
Mm.
discover?
It appears to be someone's playing a video game, and one of the characters sort of speaks to them through the game, and they wind up fucking them. In fact, the first one I clicked on was a Russian one, and it's like a woman is in the game, but it's just a woman sitting on her balcony, pretending to be in a game, and she's like a fortune teller in a game.
So it's not animated.
No, it's
It's
not.
live
But they had a bunch of animated ones too. Just like
Okay.
anything else, any genre you search, you can find it in a cartoon as well.
In my mind, it's like somebody's like really turned on by this one random Grand Theft Auto 3 character that somebody makes a porno about that character or something.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's like
lady
that.
on the street in this neighborhood in the first mission.
Yeah, that's basically what it is, but without being specific
Okay.
about the games. But there's also one where like a woman was playing a game and she's designing a create a character and she's just doing it, and then the guy steps out of the game.
Okay.
And fucks her. So,
Okay.
it's kind of
glad
well
that
done,
actually-
honestly. The woman was like kind of schlubby, like not that attractive, and she's like, but I feel it worked for the scene, honestly. I was just kind of scanning through it because it's like, oh, she's just a regular person
Yeah.
and she's now gets to fuck this guy.
And the guy was hot.
No, but I think he was supposed to be hot. But
Okay.
that's who they could get, Yeah, he looked a little bit like Sami Zayn, but bald.
Which state do you think in the United States is the horniest state? By which I mean they spend the most time on Pornhub.
Kentucky.
Sid.
This is per capita?
Yeah, I guess it would be pointless to do it by
Florida.
total.
The answer is Maryland.
What?
Wow.
Again, it's all
Come on
Aiden.
again. Oh my god.
Rhode Island number 2, New Jersey, North Carolina,
Wow.
Delaware.
I'm a Mary in Maryland.
Shortest time on site is Louisiana, Oregon, Washington State, North Dakota, and Wyoming.
Huh.
Favorite time to watch porn seems like 11 p.m. is the bone zone.
What's your favorite
Stroke zone,
time
I
to watch
should say.
porn? If you had a most frequent time.
I would say earlier. If I I would say noon to 1 is like my. If I were to do it, I'm not the masturbator I once was, but by 11 p.m. I'm in bed.
You can masturbate in bed.
That's true, but I'm
Those J.O. pants,
an
keep your
early
legs warm.
masturbator. But this is really interesting. They have just a whole heat chart
Jesus.
of when people are spanking it.
Friday 11 p.m. Oh well, no, Thursday 11 p.m.
Yeah,
Oh, Monday,
is
sorry,
the
it
most
says highest.
popular day, and Saturday is the least popular day because people are obviously probably out trying to get some.
Okay, it's a lot of info here.
Yeah,
Most
we're not even.
viewed categories. Lesbian.
I think-
still the old standby.
Yeah.
Transgender's 5th out of everything.
Yep.
Is this
Right.
just in America or worldwide?
This is worldwide.
And BBW really suffering. They got to get their
Oh.
game up. Can't be
Most
behind
viewed
hentai.
categories per country. In Russia, they just want Russian porn.
Everybody
re-
just wants representation.
Yeah. What's reality mean?
Like
I don't
amateur,
know.
I guess, or
Yeah, probably.
studio stuff.
And that's what that's not Mongolia. What is that like? Mongolia's
Brazil
the red.
anal. I love it. Actually, all of South America looks like.
Yeah.
Or
I see.
lesbian. The blue is lesbian. Lesbian. Top gaining categories. Korean is pumping up. People want that Korean porn now. Very
It's the
specific.
it's the BTS
Interesting.
thing.
Categories viewed the longest.
Squid Game.
Small tits coming
Because
in.
you're searching for the titty. It's harder to
Yeah,
find.
you got it with a monocle.
Then brunette, then double penetration. Categories viewed the shortest. Feet, solo male, scissoring, muscular men. Hey now.
Oh, it's all
See, gay guys know what they want again, in and out,
Yeah, they get in and they get out.
Yeah.
and they want to. They have a
Pornhub
Grindr
gay
date.
insights. Here's my time to shine. Most search for gay terms: twink, not so much for me anymore. Anime, no. Pinoy, I wouldn't search for it, but I'm into it.
You're not going to
Asian,
kick it out of
into
bed.
Yeah, hentai, not into it. Curious straight friends, I could see why this is so high.
Why does it have to be? Wait, so it's not. It's just two friends who are straight. It's not your friends. It's they are friends in
Right.
the video.
Yeah, they're just
Exactly.
experimenting with touching each other.
Okay.
And really, it's just coded language for two masculine guys.
Yeah.
You know, two guys that aren't presenting, that aren't.
Do they
as
walk?
overtly
Non-femboy.
gay.
Do they walk
Yeah,
in
yeah.
and go, "Hey, bro, that was a great gym." workout."
There's studios that kind of, there's like a studio that's a frat house, you know, something like that.
What percentage of those guys are actually straight?
40, 30? I don't know, not too many.
Okay.
Let's most viewed gay I think, like, in general, because of all the internalized homophobia, straight guys are the most viewed category.
I feel like if I didn't have these stats in front of me, I would think gay men watch the least porn, just because it's so readily available to have sex. You know, and men are men. You know, I feel like you don't have to court women.
But
as
there's
much.
also a higher portion of them that are closeted, probably, that don't feel comfortable.
Good point. Very good.
Yeah.
Point.
And I also feel like gay couples are probably a little bit more open about watching porn together,
Okay.
or just masturbating at home and it not being like this
Yeah.
big hidden thing.
You both made cogent arguments.
Yeah.
This is very, like, this was I feel like a hipster, a gay porn star hipster, because, like, I know who most of these people are, and I don't jerk off to them.
Why not? Too
Boring.
famous? You like?
I mean,
the
they're just
underground?
not.
You
They're
like the
just not my
demo tape?
type. They're not really my type.
Not even
see.
Malik Delgado, no relation.
Malik isn't my type. Honestly, I've never even heard of him.
Who is this fourth guy? What? That is a weird name.
You got to pick a better.
Yeah,
name.
I've never heard of this
Jake
guy either.
Andrich Jacobs? What is that? His actual name? Why would you make that one up? I'm very confused.
Yeah.
He's promoting Jacobs shorts and sweatpants.
Zilv Goodle?
What about William Seed? That's a great name.
Alex Meekum is like the least clever name, I think, for me. I don't like the
I
guy
love it.
just
I love
because-
it.
Who's that? Where did you see Goodle? I missed that.
Go up.
Goodle.
It's, where is it?
That was
Oh,
Zilv
Zilv.
Goodle. Oh, he's right here.
Didn't he-
This is him.
Didn't he formulate the incompleteness theorem?
I think he's currently being held hostage in the Middle East.
Oh, lesbian is actually a favorite for women. Women don't want no men in their porn.
All right.
And for men, the top category is Japanese or mature.
Look, hentai climbing up the leaderboard on both of those. Plus 6%.
Viewed more by women compared to men. Scissoring, a transgender, pussy licking, solo male, a lesbian.
I'm surprised romantic isn't the top of that list.
They're over it.
Yeah.
Pussy. And surprisingly, in the Philippines, there's more female visitors than
Huh.
male visitors.
How do
Colombia is 50-50.
Ladyboy videos do in the Philippines?
Isn't that femboy basically same thing?
I
Yeah.
don't know. Is it? Is that like an outdated term?
I don't know.
Ladyboy is an outdated term.
Oh, I just only thought
I think
because
it's just
don't they call themselves that though? Like the Philippine ones, trans women.
Maybe
know.
only the ones
I don't
you've
think
done
so.
business with, Darren.
yeah, maybe the ones that your caviar hangs out with.
No, that's
The
probably because I'm so unfamiliar with it that I get the language wrong. Because the last time I
That's
actually
just
heard
what you
anyone
would want us to think.
right. Why was it something bad if I liked a trans Philippine women?
I don't know. Depends on if they're a nice person or not.
How dare you cast aspersions?
Gen Z's into cosplay. Interesting.
I would. By
I
the
don't
way,
know. I would. These age brackets are very incorrect for me. I think
I mentioned this to
35-year-old
Rob.
is not
Okay.
Gen X.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's pretty. Why? Yeah, that range is like
35-year-old
twice as
is a
long as the other
millennial.
ones.
Yeah.
Interesting. Boomers. Smoking is number one for
Smoking.
boomers. See, everybody just wants representation.
Yeah.
They just want to see themselves in their porn.
I think it's more like the world is so different now. You can't even smoke in
Yeah.
a porn anymore.
Give
I
me
wanna
that
watch
Nina
some-
Hartley with a fucking cigar. One in her mouth and one in her ass.
They're even taking over the porn with their non-smoking agenda.
Give me straight up missionary with a pack of Pall Malls.
I want a trans agenda porno.
Most searched movies and characters:
Oh,
Star
God.
Wars, Harley Quinn, Game of Thrones, Avatar.
What is Elastigirl?
I don't know.
Isn't that the wife from The Incredibles?
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Chun-Li from Fortnite. The Fortnite version of Chun-Li is the most famous
This is video game characters?
Yeah. Well, Sonic.
I do not play Fortnite at all. What is the relation of Chun-Li to Fortnite?
I think it's they just have
You could.
they just have cross licensing all the time. Yeah, so it's just other video games characters. You could be their avatar.
But
in this game.
but this is porn. So if Chun-Li's in the porn, why is it the Fortnite?
Fortnite has
version
a
of porn?
specific animation style, so it's like she looks like a Fortnite character.
I
Just
got
more of a camel toe. That one.
I got you.
Thanksgiving is the least popular day in the U.S. to jerk off. It's their lowest traffic, it says.
By the way, I'm disappointed there's no Mortal Kombat characters on that list.
Mm.
They stepped their shit up. You played that new game at all?
I have not.
No, I haven't.
Okay. Some of it's very disturbing.
This is what you wanted: the most searched terms in Japan, right, Darren? That's what you were asking. Or
Did I? I don't remember that. But,
What did you want to know about Japan?
I think we already covered Japan.
Or
but
did you have a
I'll
story?
take
You
a
said
look
you had
at
an
it.
Anecdote? You had an anecdote about Japan?
Oh, well, no, just that I used to work in a video store, a very
Mhm.
famous one that had lots and lots of porn. The porn buyer, I worked directly with the porn buyer. I was like his underling, basically. And he used to always get in trouble because he over-ordered, in their opinion of the store managers, he over-ordered porn. Porn made up 6% of the sales of the entire. This was a store that was a gigantic, world-renowned store that had like movies, DVDs, video cassettes, still music, everything you can imagine, books.
And the name of the store it was billed as a music store.
Right. And 6%
Yeah.
of the sales of the entire store were porn DVDs. So he justified it by saying it's fucking selling, whatever. But Japanese tourists would come and just buy $10,000 worth of porn because it was not blurred. They could only get, and this was like really before high quality streams were available online. It was like the early 2000s.
This was the DSL era.
Yeah, so they would have to get the porn while on vacation and just take it home. It was amazing. Smuggle it home because they wouldn't let you even in the country, I think, with it. It was wild. You would just get these Japanese guys with like just wheelbarrows full of DVDs, bringing them up to the counter. It was fantastic.
How do you smuggle them in? Do you just have like a TSA agent who's your friend back at the
Maybe.
Osaka airport?
I mean, I'm sure if they're buying, like, literally, I've seen $10,000 purchases there.
Good
of
lord.
just porn, or maybe like three CDs thrown in, But like, yeah, if you have that much money to blow on porn, you probably have enough money to pay off somebody to help you smuggle DVDs in.
That's fucking wild.
Now, I don't kink shame, but like, did you ever see somebody check out and you're like, whoa, you're into this kind of thing? Like, like someone unassuming into like the grossest porn?
They didn't have that much gross porn. It was like there was like no, we weren't allowed to have horse fucking stuff or whatever. But there was some pretty
I
hard.
wasn't even going there.
Oh well, I have worked in stores where they did have that stuff.
Oh, okay, I see.
But this was like a mainstream corporate store. But like, but we had Serge Tankian came in and bought a whole mess of real hardcore porn, like
really? How have you never told this story?
I thought I did tell this on the air.
It doesn't sound.
It was when I
familiar
first
to me.
started, and I was on a register. It was like before I got promoted, and he went up to like the next register over, and bought like probably 10 DVDs of like just choking women on the cover and everything, like the most hardcore porn imaginable. And
Well,
he
you're
How
on
was
the
did-
road. You
how-
need distractions.
How
And
did
you're
you not
not-
share this story when we had Darren Malakian on the show?
Oh, that's true. It didn't even occur to me.
Wow.
Honestly. Yeah, I should have.
That is who we had, right? That was the one.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
correct.
Well, we also had the other guy, the drummer, right? Oh, was
Oh
it?
yeah, that's right.
What's his name?
It was the one that's
The
not
John-
Chavo. Yeah,
Marin Delakian.
Dolmayan, John Dolmayan.
Ah,
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Wow.
think I should have. You're right. But yeah, by the way, completely shameless. Walked up, having a gregarious conversation with the person who was ringing him up right next to me,
wow.
and just laid them all out. You know, I think he
Are you
might
sure it was Serge? It wasn't just like some
have
rando.
100%.
Wow.
I was so into System of a Down. Well, I still am, but I mean, like that was like a year or two after Toxicity came out.
Wow.
And,
That's
yeah.
the peak.
Yeah, it was wild. And then he left, and then like 3 or 4 people came up to me and were like, "Oh, dude, he buys porn like all the time. All the time he comes here and buys. Whenever he's in New York, he comes.
You'd
in.
think he would just have a person handle that for him.
He's
Wow.
an oddball
He's
guy. He
also-
doesn't care.
He has such
He
specific
likes
tastes.
he
you
likes
can't
the
trust
shop. He
in
likes the
his
window
system.
shop. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like he knows what he wants.
Yeah. And he's
Wow.
also very free spirit. I think he's not ashamed of pornography.
Yeah, well, I think that's also a part of it. It's like not that's like an American thing is to have shame about porn. I feel like.
Well, he's American, isn't he?
Yeah, but you know, he has the Armenian kind of.
Was he
Are
born?
they-
He wasn't born here.
I'm not
He
sure.
must have come here when he was very, very young. If he wasn't born here, I feel like he just speaks English perfectly.
He was born in Beirut, Lebanon.
Oh, okay. How old was he when he moved to the U.S.?
Let's see.
Got to be really young, right?
7.
Okay, yeah. So he's basically an American. He's as American as Noah, you know.
Well, you know how my feelings on that. No.
Well, she renounced her American citizenship because of the libs and what they're doing.
Is that what happened?
People are going to think
Well-
you're serious.
The woke agenda. No,
Yeah,
I'm
she-
kidding. She lives in the most
Uh,
American state of Arizona. I mean, you can't get more American than that.
What was Arizona's top porn search?
Oh shit!
How do
Well,
we
she
not-
had to have skewed that.
Rough hands.
It's only
Big
by.
hands.
It's not by state. It's just.
There was by
country.
state. They're like the one that was the most disproportionately searched in a
Oh,
particular
yeah,
state,
yeah.
It's
Hold on.
poking a hole in a cactus videos.
Naked
Coyote
jujitsu grappling.
Is there a Dragon Force
Uh,
category on porn?
IDF
What was the-
interrogation.
What was one of the?
I have seen stuff like that. Have you ever? It was more in the Bush era, like when, like right after 9/11, there was so many. The market was flooded with like soldiers going into a cave and fucking
Oh my
Arab
God.
terrorist women. It's alleged
Wow.
terrorist. Or like Bin Laden fucking a white woman, capturing a white woman, and him and his team fucking her. Flooded. It was so saturated. Like half the videos available for that.
Great time to be a Middle Eastern porn actor, I guess.
No, but most of them weren't though. Like they were
Yeah.
just
Just like
white
Mexican
guys
dudes.
with beards put on.
Yeah.
Not even Mexican. Like white guys with
Car
beards.
sex is Arizona. Car sex.
Sex with a car, like in the gas tank, or what?
We saw the kids in the hall do that sketch. Remember one time we saw them live and they had a sketch where all of them are fucking a car?
You know, also I just saw some video that was suggested to me, which was like, who are the hottest cartoon characters to fuck? And one of them was one of the Cars from the movie Cars.
Was it the one Larry the Cable Guy voices?
Oh no, it was a woman car, but yeah, it was very odd.
Disappointing.
Not one of them was Tinkerbell. Also, what?
Okay, sure.
But the guy did say if you zoom out, it's like weird because how would you put your dick in? But when there's a close up on her, she's hot. That was his commentary.
She has magical properties. She could probably somehow like either shrink you down
Oh yeah, that's right.
or enlarge her opening.
Oh man, that'd be.
Or maybe she like crawls into your dick hole and does stuff like prostate stimulation or something, licking the inside of your vas deferens or something.
Flap those wings really fast while
Oh
she's
my
inside your dick.
Rob, how would you fuck Tinkerbell?
He's gay.
I don't know.
You
Maybe
took your
just ask for a
headphones off. How
blowjob
can you
there.
hear us?
Rob, how would you fuck Ant-Man is the question.
Well,
Oh, you could just wait till he.
he's going to the jazz concert with Ant. So
Oh, that's
find
right.
out then.
Well,
Come on, different.
Get him
they go
drunk.
way back. Oh, well, straight curious friends, Rob.
Yeah, there you go. A little footsie under the table, see what happens
Hey, now.
during a particularly good drum solo.
You're right. The music
You
just
give-
takes over our souls. We
Yeah,
just
you
can't
give him a
help
whole
it.
different kind of fill.
Nate Smith facilitating some penetration.
Anyway,
Well, a good way to find out if Anthony watches the show is if he texts you tomorrow and like, actually, I'm not going to be able to make that concert. Rob."
Or if he says, "Look, I'm not totally hating the idea.
I booked a hotel for us after the concert.
yeah, if he says like, I've been waiting for you to mention this for so long.
That would turn Rob off. He's got to be like slightly ambivalent. Like, well, I wouldn't say no totally.
Yeah, exactly. I need a bit of a chase. I need a hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's booking hotels. Like, fuck this guy.
That's
Next, I can get that on Grinder. Fuck out of here.
a little too thirsty.
I want to mention this email that we got from Eric. Of course, you could always
Oh.
contact us whenever you want. riplivecast@gmail.com. Eric, one of our top Livecast fans, and, actually sat in on a show, of course. He said he noted, and I don't know how we missed this, so thank you, Eric. This past week marked the 15th anniversary of the show.
Oh, wow.
And he just wanted to write in and congratulate us on reaching another milestone. Eric, I want to congratulate you on still tolerating us and still listening to us after all of these years.
He's a real one.
It's also today episode 750, if I'm
Yeah.
correct.
Fucking crazy.
So like
And,
roughly.
a few years back, I sent in a list with some classic episodes from the first 5 years of the show. And to commemorate the 15th anniversary, I put together another list of more classic episodes ranging from the beginning of the show to about 10 years, not including the episodes that were on the original. Oh, not including the episodes that were on the original list from a few years ago. See, this is a new list that Eric compiled, which I'm also like, Eric, did you go back and again listen to our archives? At which point,
It's nice.
Wow.
do you know more about us than we do?
Probably.
I'll be real with you. I mean, there's times when we've done this show so long, like someone will say, "Hey, you remember that time?" And I'm like, I literally don't remember. Like, I didn't even remember when Sid brought up Booger Boy. I don't remember that one bit. I don't remember that conversation. I must have heard it because I started calling my cat Booger Boy. I mentioned this, and I had no idea. He didn't have a booger. It was just something, when you call your cat random phrases. I just said one day I said Booger Boy, so it must have been in there. But I started calling him that, and then we had that discussion. I was like, holy shit.
I don't know why, but I don't think anything in the world makes me laugh harder than that.
He really responds to it. And my cat's very finicky. Like this the tone of voice, like some of the things they just walk right away from me, and other names he'll respond that come like rub on me. And that one he just fucking loves it, so I just stayed with it. But I feel like I've stopped saying it because of what out of respect.
There can be only one true Booger
No,
Boy.
that's not how I meant it. I mean, I don't want to be insulting to Rob because it bothers him.
I'm okay with it now. I'm all right. I've moved past it.
But
It was
Rob,
very
the point-
uncomfortable at the time, though.
But the point of that was I did have no recollection of that whatsoever. I still don't. I don't even having my memory jogged. I don't remember that stuff.
What I think about is like we've certainly reshared stories on the show,
Oh, yeah.
multiple like retold stories that we've told, and I wonder if Eric's like, oh, that's not how you told it the first time.
Oh,
I'm sure, like I've thought about that too, and sometimes I'm conscious that I'm telling something for the second time. I think I've said this before, and then I tell it, and I'm like, what if I'm remembering this wrong? But it's like that's just being old, and also that's just also not being old, like being senile, but just having a life full of 50 years of experiences. I feel like things get jumbled, and I always wonder if people are going to think, you made that fucking story up because you told it differently. But like you remember things, your perspective changes a lot of the time.
So here's his list. He starts with episode 10, which is with Thor Shredstein. It was the first appearance of Thor Shredstein on the show, and the first time Rob is called a boot face. First time Sid reveals his hate for Cynic. So this is a big one.
Wow. Wait,
Love it.
so that was the episode where we did the parody of the Alex Rodriguez press conference where he admitted to doing steroids, because I
Yeah, I
think
guess
that the
Noah
boot
said-
face, where the and I think she improvised this in the moment, like none of us knew she was going to say. We just knew, Rob, you were going to do. What were you admitting, that you did the show under the influence of marijuana?
I guess so. Yeah.
And Noah's just one of the reporters asking questions, and she asks, like, how do you respond to being called a boot face or having a face
How you
like a
got your
boot?
face-
Something
yeah.
like that.
Very Noah thing to say. Just random and condescending.
Then episode 41, Hey, Stop Licking My Pizza, is where we learn about Sid's geek to geek profile, which is where Noah and Jenny.
Where I learned about my fucking
Yes.
profile.
Noah and Jenny took it upon themselves to set up Sid with a dating profile. This is before he was married.
Does that
while he was
website
single.
still exist?
That, by the way, made it into one of the songs. It made it into the Rabba 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 Stay in Europe song.
Geek to
Episode
Geek does still exist, apparently, though the copyright on the website is from 2019. But it still loads the website, and
Okay.
some of the people pictured do look sort of like me.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they look like they're still on there from 12 years ago.
Probably that too.
Episode 35, Addition by Subtraction. This is where we first hear about Jenny's foot pussies, which are her boys, which are her submissive boys.
Or bottoms.
The people that, well, we should explain a little bit. Like, she used to have a like an S&M profile on some site, collarme.com.
It was like cops, right? Yeah.
And they would come over. It wasn't always cops, but it was like people would just come to her house and do her housework for her. And all that she had.
Well,
to do
some
was
of them,
like-
not all of them, but yeah.
There was one that was
she had
like
her
that
fun.
only wanted to smell her farts or something like that, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't
it was
that
a
like
whole-
thing?
But the foot pussy thing was like the guys wanted to worship her feet, so she would just cuck them and like, here's my.
I
feet.
think
like,
you're the one that coined the term foot pussy.
I
though.
did. I remember. I couldn't get the word out because I was laughing so hard.
Episode 55, Rob versus Booze, which is the first time I did a
Oh my
shot for every
God.
caller. I remember we did a few of these, which I'm never going to do again, obviously. Episode 59, Wheels on the Bus. This is when we first hear the Peter Steele bus driver song. When we first hear about his bus driver gig. Okay.
And then we recorded a commercial about him.
Eventually, yeah. Number 72, Malaria Blankets. Noah calls in from Israel to talk about her riveting trip to the Ammunition Museum, a classic Livecast
Wow.
moment.
Do you think they took any of that ammunition out of retirement in the last couple months?
Well,
I think they're out of it. Probably they've
Yeah.
killed so many
Yeah.
people.
Number 84, introduction of the Larry King drops. The episode title is
Oh my God.
Mama.
Yumma.
Wow, I can't believe that's all the way at 84. Number 88,
Mama.
the Mac Daddy of Metal, which is where Shlomo dubs Rob the Chacham of Metal.
Still, to this day, don't know what a chacham is.
It's like a grand expert or something, like a really wise elder, kind of. I believe.
I guess there was also a mixtape that we released on January 26, 2011, where where Darren just pulled all the usable clips from our college radio show days.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Number
That one, that
108
one has the one with where Bloomberg had just in 2002 or something. He just
Former mayor.
instituted the no smoking in public establishments, which still stands to this day. And we had Mrs. DiVitelli on being upset about it
Oh my god.
and how she thinks everyone any age should be allowed to smoke. And Rob plays a straight man and argues with her. No, Mrs. DiVitelli, you can't have kids smoking. It's like, yes, they should. You know, it's like a debate.
Darren, just to clarify, I think for the entire run of your college radio show, Rob was playing a straight man.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I remember in the early days of this show, not the college show, like Rob would make little jokes that he's gay, but then I'm just kidding, you know. But on that show, not a drop, like not even like he wouldn't even allude to it. So I feel like you were much more conscious of keeping that under wraps. Like it's
Yeah, I don't even know if I accepted it in myself at that time.
You were like what, 19 to 22 when we were doing that?
Yeah. So keeping it going, episode 108 is when Andrew WK calls into the show after getting a
Oh.
Google alert notifying him that we discussed him on the previous show, calling him out for his
Legendary.
fakeness.
Yeah.
But he was actually really great.
Yeah.
Episode 110 was the second annual Livecast Awards.
That's my favorite.
And this one was just like this. The second one I remember was like entirely mega pre-produced bits. Like it was all just pre-produced.
No, they both were. They both were.
I think the second one was like another level.
We did a better job of it, I think.
Yeah.
But that's the one where
he
Dave Mustaine hosted, I think.
I believe so. He writes the old annual Livecast Award show that had lots of great produced bits and a show that a lot of work and effort went into making. That's true.
Really?
Episode 114, Hot Sauce in the Dick Hole. Episode title refers to Sean's sexual activities plus a recap of Rob's interviews from the Golden Gods Awards, which we definitely had a lot of fun with. 123, Rob's only follow-up is dessert. Rob's interview follow-up questions are criticized.
That's like every episode.
Episode 131, Seinfeld, the 9/11 Never Forget tribute song. Classic. 146, fictitious example. Rob gets a cease and desist notice for his Tamara Stream website, which, by the way, the domain registry just expired for that. So that joke
For
is officially dead,
Scream?
sadly. Yep. 151, Grasshopper Dick, which had a guest appearance from the Iron Sheik.
Not really.
157, The Hand That Weeds, which is the introduction of Sway Schmata. Number 158 is the debut of the Durinsky guy, where Darren talks about the guy at his poker club that thinks he is such a handsome man. Number 182, Dickel Freak and Hulk Hogan sex tape discussion. This is where we hear the infamous Hulk Hogan line, "I feel like a pig," which sadly does not mention the chicken parmesan.
That seems real long ago. I thought it would be a little closer than that. 182 has to be like 2012 or something.
A lot of these episodes are in the 100s. I feel this is the real golden age here. 192, Everybody Happy, which is the debut of Sal the Jerk Off Barber. I thought that came much later. Wow. 194, Matter of Talking, interview with Phil Anselmo and Bruce Corbett, baby. RIP a legend. And we hear Shlomo
that guy died, right?
Shlomo, this was the caller where Shlomo and Phil Anselmo talked maybe the apex of the live cast.
Well, it was definitely moments like that when a listener and a guest interact. Like when we had Pizza Destroyer and we called what was it, Gunface or Greg?
Yeah.
Greg Weeks, yeah.
See, I think the difference there is that Phil Anselmo and people like that are wholly unaware of how dumb the show was.
Yeah,
like they're treating it like
used to believe Shlomo was a real person.
Yes, I feel like Chris Jericho is the same thing. Like when I ran in the other room. We were still doing the show live and in person. I went in the other room and called as the Iron Sheik. And he was like, what's going on here? What is this? This is ridiculous. Like, he did no-sold it completely.
Yeah.
He was just in a mood that whole interview.
Yeah, he wasn't into he was
pissy.
He was like he was like at an airport lounge or something being like,
no, he was like backstage at some concert performance at like a state fair or something. He was like,
that's right. And he clearly went shitty because he was like, oh, the stage was like, 3 cardboard
he was complaining.
Why?
Yeah.
Bitch.
Yeah.
He really, by the way, in the last few years has started to confirm my opinion of him, which is that he's a real jerk off.
Mm-hmm.
But
I had a lot of before it all started unraveling at that interview. I think before that I had a huge amount of respect for Chris Jericho. And then it's like,
197 Sandpaper Milkshake. It's the introduction of the sandpaper meme. 211 Guy Fieri podcast is the episode title. That's when we had Fred Durst and Wes Borland call in.
And I called from that's when I did the phone call from another room, and they no-sold it when I asked Fred Durst how he feels about being called the Guy Fieri of metal.
Episode 221 Nipple Rim Hair, when the Phil Labonte metal injection drama first broke. Man, that was fun.
Oh God.
237, the most famous person Noah's ever banged is the episode title. And this is the first appearance of Rob's butt cheek. Here we are, 500 episodes later.
And you're still dealing with that shit, man.
Still dealing with it.
Nipple rim hair
for the rest of my life.
Nipple rim hair.
so excited.
241, the
to say
tracheotomy had me rolling.
Oh, that's
This is the debut of I Loved
Throat
Swimming.
Trunk
I
guy.
used to love swimming.
Episode 256, High Heater. We hear the Immure
Yeah.
song that sampled the live cast. Wow, that's that long
Oh, I
ago.
forgot that happened. Jesus Christ.
And then we made a
258,
parody
Duke
song.
Dillinger. We first learned of our favorite Yelp reviewer and what kind of sharing he's had to do. How have we been doing this bit for 500 episodes?
He's still posting.
Hypnotized. This is the awkward interview with Chris Jericho. This is episode 277 that you mentioned, Darren. Episode 293, large sterile hallway, reverb on fart sound effects. I remember where it was Noah figured out how to use the reverb on our soundboard, and then Darren would just play his fart sound effects and with the added reverb. It was maybe the most funny thing we've ever heard in our
It went
lives.
on for like 20 minutes too. We were just playing farts for like 20 minutes.
301, like a dog in the street. We played
Yeah.
Jose Megan treated Rob. 344, transpired upon the stage. Oh my God. 344. This is now obviously where we go over the Phil Anselmo white power incident.
That was one of our most watched and commented on videos on YouTube too, I feel like.
363, Havana, the debut of Havana, Cubana, Guantana. 398, Urinal Kate, guest appearance from Lonnie to plug his Hat podcast.
Yeah.
And what Eric calls the best Yelp reading by Darren.
Perhaps the provolone.
Oh,
moment.
okay. Episode
All-time
400, the Meaty Meteor, which was our first video episode. That was really fun.
Wow.
And that was with Sexual Jeopardy with an actual board with the clues on it.
418 is the introduction of Old New York, which was the episode title. 420, of course, the legendary appearance by Sendog and Billy from Biohazard, where I smoked up Sendog. Very iconic.
Did we plan that to be 420, or did that just happen?
Absolutely planned that. Yeah. Well, the thing is that I knew the publicist for that band, and he was asking me for coverage of them. And I was just like, I know this is a crazy idea. I know they're in town. They happen to be in town while we're doing this. Maybe they can come and sit in the podcast.
That one and Andrew WK are my co-favorite interviews.
Mm-hmm.
459 was when Jim Florentine sat in.
It was good too.
And just wanted to fuck no the whole time.
477, Shoulder to Shoulder, the debut of the Mark B Shoulder to Shoulder clip.
Oh my God.
Episode 500, Ja Rule Goatsy, big milestone episode. We played Death or No Death with Dave from Revocation and Trevor from Black Dahlia Murder. Rest in peace, Trevor.
Any Trevor episode is a Hall of Fame level episode.
Yeah, he was so good. And finally, 518, Soggy Biscuit. This is with Jay Miller sitting in, our friend Jay Miller, talking about the temple. Later on the show, we listened to Frankie Palmieri's podcast where the temple is mentioned, as well as his history with Robert Passabini. So, wow, big classic episode. If you have classic livecast episodes that you enjoy, let us know. RIPLivecast@gmail.com is our email address. Let us know. And
Deuterino has one in the chat right now.
What is he saying? 224, Stars and Shit, Rob's birthday, and Eric has him say, Jose Mengen is a lovely person.
No, not what you said.
Howard.
I remember the Jay Miller interview, like at least 5% of it was me kissing his ass of how funny he was when he came on our Brooklyn College radio show. And he just was doing some kind of very outre, like, kind of weird bit. And it was just very funny. I still remember that vividly.
And so that's that. And let's talk about what does RIP stand for this week, Sid?
RIP is for the late, great Andre Braugher, one of the greatest actors of our generation who passed away this week after a brief battle with lung cancer. One of the best comedic actors, one of the best dramatic actors, died too soon. Very much going to miss him. So just a heartfelt RIP for Andre Braugher.
Okay. Well, you can always check out our playlist on Spotify, the RIP Livecast Music Break That's the search term that you can search for, and you'll see our playlist every week. Each of us add a song, and there's like 500 songs on there now. It's very convenient. There's 600 songs, 605. 40 hours of music. My pick this week is finally Audio Slave. Like a Stone is the song. And the reason I'm picking this is jujitsu. Because when we do our warm-ups and we do our sparring, our coach puts on music, and I think he just has some set playlists, and he has a disproportionate amount of Audio Slave on this playlist. It's usually like some hard rock. Sometimes it veers into heavier stuff like metal.
Like a Stone, though, is sort of like a pretty mellow song for.
I agree with you. That's why I'm like, this is not a BJJ song.
Yeah.
But I've heard it so much. He has like 4 or 5 Audio Slave songs on there, and it made me actually give them another chance, because when they first came out was when I was, obsessed with Rage Against the Machine. I loved them so much, and I really liked Soundgarden. I wasn't as into Soundgarden at the time, especially not as I am now. And ultimately, Audio Slave was a disappointment to me because it felt more like Soundgarden than Rage Against the Machine. And I wanted more. I really just wanted more Rage Against the Machine. Ultimately, I wanted them with Zach De La Rocha. But now that all this time has passed, and I don't hold that against them, and I can just listen to it for what it is a really, really good album. And the solo on this song, Like a Stone, is beautiful. It is a really, really nice solo. And there's like a lot of really good songs on this album.
They only had one album?
They have 2 albums.
Yeah. I'm the opposite of you. I liked it because it sounded less Rage Against the Machine. Like I always, I'm not going to say I didn't like Rage Against the Machine, but I always just thought they were like a little bit samey. Like a lot of the songs were just kind of very similar. Fair. And I like the things they were saying, like politically and all that. And I respect them for activism and all that, but I just never was that into the music. Like I was like, they're over there. They're good. I could, if it comes on, I might jam to it or whatever, but like, I never used to really sit down and listen to them. But Soundgarden, I was like an insane fanatic fan of Soundgarden. So when Audio Slave came out, I was like, at first I didn't even like it that much because I thought it was like the Rage Against the Machine was like taking away some of the Soundgarden-ness, even though it sounded more Soundgarden. But then I had the same journey as you. Like the more I listened to it, I liked it way more. It sort of sounds like its own thing, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously you're going to hear some of their previous bands because it's those members, but it is completely a different thing.
Yeah.
What did you pick, Sid?
Green Day has new music out, and I guess they have an album coming out early 2024. And it's been a very long time since I've given a shit about anything they've done. But the songs that they've put out so far sound really fucking good. So I'm sort of excited for this new Green Day album. But those songs are getting enough of a push without my help, so that is not what I selected. I selected one of my favorite, slightly more obscure Green Day songs from, like, I don't know, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, called JAR. It was on the soundtrack to a really shitty movie called Angus. And I just remember being a high school kid waiting with bated breath for the radio station to debut this new Green Day song between their album cycles. And it was fantastic, and it's still one of probably my top 5 favorite Green Day songs. So that's what I put on the list. Darren? Cool.
I played a song. Well, let me give some background. I was doing a project for school, and it's about the subway. And I was trying to match up, that sound that when the new trains make and they kind of screech out of the station. I mean, it's like a whine. And I was trying to match a song to that in my video project that I'm doing, and then I gave up, and I just went and searched that sound and a song, and someone had actually already matched up. They matched up that sound with a song, and it fits perfectly.
Wow.
And it wound up being a very good song, so I used it in my video with annotation, like credit, and I loved the song. So it was apparently a big hit in the 60s, and it's called Aline by a guy named Christoph, and it's been like covered a million times. It's been used in like Volkswagen ads and stuff.
Oh wow.
It's a very beautiful song, and it's about a guy who draws a face of a woman at the beach in the sand. The water washes it away, and then he's delusional and insane, so he thinks he lost the love of his life, and he runs around the town yelling her name that he gave her out for her to come to him, and it's very sad, and he's a psychotic.
Wow.
And it's very sad music, but very nice and poppy also. You have to check it out. It's a very good song.
That sounds like the premise for a Charlie Kaufman movie.
It does, right? That's exactly. I couldn't put it in those terms, but I was thinking of it in that sort of a cinematic sense, like a guy losing his mind slowly. Very melancholy number.
Yeah. I want to mention our Patreon. You know, it's the holiday season, and you have all these Christmas movies, but you need a little Hanukkah in your life. That's why we have 2 Hanukkah movie watch-alongs up on our Patreon. Some of our best watch-alongs that we've done in terms of burning and ripping apart films.
Yeah, we put those people in an oven. We burned
at the top of the month. We did Menorah in the Middle, which focused on a small town bakery and a woman. Huh?
Wasn't it LA? Or some LA similar town, San Diego.
A girl coming back to her town with her French boyfriend, and her parents' small bakery is struggling, and comedy ensues, and it's brutal, and it's bad. Yeah. And it's stereotypical in bad ways, and we had a good time riffing on it. And then just released yesterday, we posted an episode of another Hanukkah movie, Hanukkah on Rye, which is about a woman who takes care of her parents' Jewish deli, who falls in love with a man whose family owns a Jewish deli in LA, who is moving to New York to open a competing Jewish deli. And comedy and melodrama ensue. And I will say, ultimately, Hanukkah on Rye was slightly better, slightly more watchable. Yeah. And in terms of, but I don't know, I feel like in which watch along were we funnier? It's hard to say. I guess there was
always hilarious. What are you talking about?
We're hilarious, but yeah, like there was just as much to make fun of in Hanukkah.
I thought Hanukkah on Rye gave us more. Like, I think in the first one we were just stunned at how bad this movie was.
Yes.
Yeah,
kind of sitting here like, and in the second one, in Hanukkah on Rye, it was a more structured movie, and there was a lot more meta stuff to make fun of, and the like movie making and the Jewish stereotypes were like less absurd. In the first one, it was just almost like racism, honestly. And the second one, it was like, little subtle things that we got to poke fun at, but it was both hilarious in very different vectors, I would say.
Yeah.
So you can check those out on our Patreon, patreon.com/RIPLivecast. $5 a month gets you access to 4 years of bonus episodes, including those we watch along music documentaries like The Decline of Western Civilization, some black metal documentaries, tons of good stuff in there. Check it out. And for $10 a month, you can be a top Livecast fan, and you get a shout out at the end of the show, which is right now. How are we doing this, folks?
I can present you with 2 options. You either list what each of these people's top Pornhub search was this year, or you pair each person with the government office building where they would film their porno.
I'll do the former. Eric, I would say, since he's our most avid listener, he's probably doing the hentai, right? Like, just based on the search results and how much Benjamin, he seems like a MILF guy. Benjamin. Dan R, the R is suspicious. I would say that's more of a GILF.
Okay.
Mindy Mayer's Kippa sounds like she lives in Arizona. That means she's looking for car sex. Shasur Sasusits, he's looking for, breaking into a Dunkin' Donuts and having sex there. That's the Dunkin' Donuts porn is what he's looking for.
Wow, very specific.
Hugo likes tacos. He's looking for the pussy licking. Land O'Danks, he wants boys and bongs is his search term.
What? That's a thing?
Why not? LaCroix, He's looking for beach porn. He's looking for sex on the beach.
Okay.
A nice look. Corey and Scotty H are too young to be on Pornhub.
They might be in their late 20s right now.
Erin, I think she's looking for lesbian porn. Douglas, who are you, Levison? He's looking for porn with musical instruments in them. He wants things shoved up vagina. That's our episode, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next Saturday, and hopefully you could hang out with us. Until then,
Saturday is Christmas Day, right?
Oh, is it?
Look at us.
No,
it's the gift wrap on the bottom of the tree.
No, Christmas is Monday.
Are you sure?
Yes, next Saturday is the 23rd.
Right. Oh, never mind.
We'll be with you on Christmas Eve. Until then, we love you. We kiss you. Bye-bye.